Welcome, everybody. This is an exciting presentation for us today because we're talking all about a new collaboration between STAHLS and Chipley, and we're talking about what that means to your business as an apparel decorator. STAHLS knows from working with accounts like yours and decorators like yours that one of the keys to a successful apparel decorating business is selling online, specifically through web stores. And so over the years, STAHLS has come out with their own web store solution, but during that time, we've also collaborated with a lot of companies that are in the business of creating web store solutions. And so I met Lynn at a conference, gosh, it's been a couple years ago now, and got my eyes on the Chipley platform, which is a phenomenal platform creating web stores. And so we wanted to have a more meaningful collaboration so the STAHLS customer, the apparel decorator, can simplify fulfillment for web stores. And so that's what we're here to talk about today. But before I get too far ahead of myself, a little housekeeping. There is chat. We'll be keeping our eyes on chat throughout the presentation. We'll stop several times for Q&A. This is being recorded, which means you'll be able to play it back if you didn't see the whole thing. And then I'd like to welcome Lynn in. And can you give a little explanation, Lynn, on who you are, where you're from, and what you do in the industry?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, like Josh said, we met a couple of years ago at a conference, and it turns out we have a lot of mutual goals in mind. So part of this collaboration was inspired by things that both of us were already working on independently. And so myself, I'm the president of Chipley. Chipley is a web store building platform specifically that we sort of get our hands into lots of different things. And what we found over the years is that the fulfillment side of doing web stores or e-commerce websites for customers is a relatively substantial challenge. And it has become our passion to help solve some of the bottlenecks on the fulfillment side of the equation, not only just the web store building side. So that's sort of where this collaboration comes in, and it's really exciting to be able to free people up that are already using Chipley or that can be using Chipley going forward to be able to fulfill orders with a lot less anxiety and with a lot more automation. So that's where we're headed.
Awesome. And then because of our technical difficulties, Lynn, I don't know, were you able to get to your headset mic, or is it just through the computer? Because I am getting just a little bit of noise.
Are you getting feedback?
Yeah, just a little bit. Yep.
It is not letting me choose my headphones.
Well, it sounds much better when you're leaning forward, so
okay.
I have to be uncomfortable for 45 minutes. But so as far as like navigating this, we're going to get to the integration. That's specifically on how we're trying to simplify fulfillment for people off of web stores. But before we go too deep into that, I know there's some Team Chipley folks shouting out. We have Nick in the chat, so lots of supporters for Chipley, lots of STAHLS customers using Chipley today. But for those who may not be familiar with the Chipley platform overall and its benefits, would you be able to just kind of do a screen share and walk us through how you explain Chipley to an apparel decorator?
Yes, absolutely. So I'll jump in and do a bit of a demo, but just to introduce the Chipley platform generally. Most of the people on the call are probably familiar with websites and with web stores. When that sort of gets integrated into this decorated apparel industry, it can mean lots of different things. So where Chipley really specializes is to make custom websites for specific groups of customers that would like to, order either in bulk or individually, leave a store open all the time, or behave more like a group store where you might keep it open for a week or a period of time and then close and take advantage of bulk operations. So Chipley is able to accomplish all of those things, and then also sort of delve into the fulfillment side of things. So if you're not in web stores already, it's totally fine. There's a lot of opportunity, I think, especially with people that are already in the decorated apparel space in some way, shape, or form, to take advantage of this kind of business, and without even soliciting new customers, really just get more meat off the bone with some of those existing customers that you already have relationships with, and be able to provide new resources and new tools for them without bottlenecking your existing infrastructure and your routine in your own shop at home. So yes, I will. I'm gonna move screens so that everything Comes out nicely here.
All right, excellent. And while you're doing that, I do see lots of folks on the line that are new to this, which is great. We welcome you all. So as Lynn goes through the demo, I think you'll start to understand exactly what we're talking about with web stores. But I'll just reiterate what I said at the open. We have seen this be an important element of success for customers. So we are seeing your web screen now. We're seeing the STAHLS website.
Great, that's wonderful. So we'll introduce our partnership as we go along and sort of what that means for you. And Josh, feel free to jump in and slow me down if there's anything that you'd like me to delve in a little bit deeper here as well. But what I'm going to start with is just the bones of what Chiply is. So Chiply is a tool behind the scenes that you have as a business owner to be able to construct and build and fulfill web stores on behalf of whoever your customer is. So could be a school, could be a corporate customer, just a small group that wants to do anniversary shirts or whatever. So this is me logging in as a dealer, salesperson, or store builder, somebody who's in charge of this type of work. So you can see here that I can manage whatever I have going on inside of the platform by seeing where anything is in the process at any given time. So I'm looking at all the open stores that we have right now, and we can see, how they're doing, and we can navigate through the entire platform right from here. So the first thing we typically are going to do when we're thinking about doing work on behalf of a customer is add a new store. So for today, we can add a new store from scratch. So that's just right here. And I'm showing you this because it's really important to understand sort of the difference and the pros and cons of doing a group store or a store that you can open, launch it for a limited period of time, close it, and fulfill it, versus what Chiply calls a catalog store. A catalog store can be left open for a very long period of time, maybe all the time, and then batched or produced either as orders come in daily or maybe once a week, whatever works well in your particular business. And that's really important to know, because when we talk about this STAHLS automated ordering solution for UltraMax, that opens up the ability for all of us, regardless of what type of shop that we run, to be able to accept small batch orders and still accomplish those orders within our normal routine. So what I'll do now is just go to a quick little demo store that I have. And what we'll talk about first is the front end, or the building a web store. So if you've never done this before, don't be scared. It is not very complicated. Most of the things come in from an automated dealer setting that we at Chiply help you figure out. We're very excited about helping people figure out the business of web stores and how it fits into their infrastructure and sort of planning around the fulfillment side of things. So when I start a new store, I'm just filling out some settings here, scheduling and assigning it to an organization, etc. And then when I do build that store, really, I'm just walking my way down this left-hand column here and checking things off my list. So first I want to make it look cool. So we'll go to branding. And in branding, I have the ability to make my store look, specific for this particular customer. You can see inside of Chiply that you have lots and lots, I think maybe 100 different images in here that you can pick as background. If you don't like what we've done or teed up for you, you can always upload your own image or take a screenshot from the internet, whatever you think is really cool and specific for this particular use case. And then you have really at that point built the bones of what is a web store. So it is not hard, anybody can do it, and we are here to help you out. So again, the sort of moral here is that, we all have the capability of accepting these types of orders from customers, and we just have to figure out how it fits into our current model. As I'm building my store, a couple of things that I'll touch on first are sort of the structure of a web store. So if you have a shop or if you're producing any sort of anything, you're probably familiar with work orders or having a group of products that all belong to a piece of artwork, right? I'm going to take all these t-shirts and I'm going to put this logo on these t-shirts. So when we build a Chiply store, we put our artwork in an artwork sort of toolbox, if you will. So my artwork and everything that I believe that I'm going to need lives here. And we'll go into a little bit of detail in here in just a minute. But now I can use these pieces of artwork and I can apply them to whatever products I want. So I'm sort of free to do anything that I like. So we'll go to products. Inside of Chipley, there is a giant product database. So anybody on a call like this probably is familiar with Sanmar or SNS or Alpha Broder or some of the sort of industry standard vendors that we're all using. I can search by vendor. I can also just type in lots of model numbers at the same time, find products all at the same time, and add them all at once to my store. So bulk operations there. When we get better at this and we figure out sort of what it is that our customers want and what we enjoy selling through the web store platform, we really want to encourage people to use templates or groups of products that we can repeat and wash and use over and over again. So I'm just going to use a template that I have set up for this demo, and I'm going to bring in a whole bunch of products. I think there's like 50 products in this template. And if you remember when we talked before about artwork, all I'm doing now is the system is stopping me and it's asking me, hey, Lynn, that's really cool that you want to add these products to your store, but how would you like to decorate them? So we are assigning these products to 3 different processes. So I have one that's a full front print, one that I know that I'm going to be using UltraMax films for. It's like a small left chest type logo. And then I have a bunch of items that are going to be embroidered. So I'm going to bring in all 50 of these products all at the same time. And they're going to be applied to the artwork. So if you've ever used Shopify or Wix or any sort of web store building platform where you have to start from scratch, that is no longer the case here. So we're going to let this think for just a minute here. We got 32 products left. And while we're doing that, we'll just take a peek at maybe what a real live web store looks like. And so you guys can get excited about what it is that we're building or constructing behind the scenes. So this is a live web store. We use our Burghardt Sporting Goods as a example a lot. You can see that I have 2 designs on all of these different products. There's lots of products being offered on this web store. We are not scared of offering lots of things because we know that we're set up for success on the back end with automation and being able to order films automatically when our web store is ready to process. So I can look at both designs. I can look at all of the different color backgrounds, and this nice, big, robust store probably took this salesperson under 30 minutes to complete start to finish, including inventory and all those kind of nitpicky things that we know we have to do. So
while that's loading, just real quick, Chris asked, and he may have had this answer, but just in case,
sure.
Will this be able to be white labeled to us only, or will the Chipley logo be on the front end store?
You have the ability to white label it by disappearing the Chipley logo. You can actually disappear your own logo too if your customer wants a more custom experience as well. What we can't do at the moment is get rid of the Chipley in the URL. So you can just mask that URL in your link or whatever. But as far as the landing page and the reference to Chipley, that can all be hidden on the branding page. So while we were doing that, I navigated over to our product spreadsheet here, and we'll go back into this a little bit in detail as well. But all I'm doing now is I'm choosing in bulk, right, 50 products, the colors that I'd like to offer on this web store and the size sort of array that I'd like to offer. For me, I never offer youth extra small because it tends to cause problems in production and confusion with customers. So I'm now letting this layer on all of the sizes and all of the colors and everything that we need to take this web store all the way to the finish line. So as we're doing that, let's go back to that artwork situation here. So remember, we sort of said that we're going to put our pieces of artwork in ahead of time if we know what they're going to be. And then we can actually drill in a little bit deeper, and we can talk a bit further about how a piece of artwork lives inside of Chipley. So this is the UltraMax one that I plan to use to fulfill these orders. This is the real piece of artwork. This is a PNG image. And then with that piece of artwork, I could have variations or different color versions of that artwork. We'll show you an example of that too. And while we're in here, if I do know ahead of time that I'd like to be automatically ordering films from this particular piece of artwork, as orders come in, I can pre-assign an ID directly from STAHLS, which we'll get into as well, and I can pre-assign the vendor. I also have the ability to pre-assign it as something I might do in-house or from STAHLS as well. So just to sort of peek over here, when I'm on my STAHLS dashboard, which again, we can dive in a little bit deeper when we're talking about fulfillment, but I do have that design ID already produced here, and I'm really just repeating it, and putting it in the Chipley system. Now it lives in both systems and they both jive, and everything matches and connects automatically.
That's great. So just to restate that for everybody in case you got lost. So for those newbies, UltraColor MAX is a direct-to-film transfer from STAHLS. It is by far our top growing transfer because you can do fine detail, lots of colors, apply it at a low temperature, works on a lot of products, can order as little as one, just really simplifies all of the complexity that goes into picking a product and decorating a shirt. And so what we've done with the Chipley collaboration is we've created a marriage of the STAHLS Artwork ID to the Chipley artwork. And so it's just, you'll see it in a little bit. I'm not gonna reveal it yet, but you'll see how that can automate the fulfillment of the store. But that's going through pre-planning up front, saying, hey, in this case, I want this to definitely be assigned to an UltraColor MAX transfer from STAHLS. That's how I plan to make it.
Yeah, perfect. And you know, the very next question a lot of people ask is, well, what if I don't know ahead of time, right? What if I don't know how many I'm going to get and I just want to fill in on those? And that's also being accomplished with this integration as well. You can either know ahead of time and let sort of set it and forget it, or you can fill in the blanks later on and include those sort of straggling items in your shopping cart and order everything from STAHLS at the same time. So as we let that think, now we have our products inside on the back, and we also have now our completed website totally built for us. I know it feels pretty magical when everything happens that quickly, but that is real. I did not trick the system or anything. I was able to populate all of these images using automation. And even when I have a variable color, so for example, on this DT132L, I have a white version that's automatically changing that image on the different variable background color as well. Actually, there's probably better examples of that. So like this one has gold, and then it also has the on dark, and then it has the on, you know, on royal versus on white. So all those variations are taken care of because I told the system that this piece of artwork has those variations. So on Josh's side in STAHLS, he needs to be able to know, well, how many of each of these color combinations will I need to be able to fulfill this order? So I can, again, preemptively fill in all of those specific things that I need about that piece of artwork, and then it's going to live in both systems forever, and I can reference it anytime I want to use that piece of art. So on the store building side, we have just done a lot of work together, so thank you guys, appreciate it. And just to take it to the finish line to sort of maybe answer some of the other questions that might be pressing on your mind are, well, what about, you know, the products and the inventory, and what about the pricing and sort of some of the other pain points that you might be experiencing if you are already doing web stores using maybe a different platform. So we're going to talk about this as our product spreadsheet. This is sort of a bird's eye view of everything that's going to be going on behind the scenes inside of my web store. So we'll just kind of, it seems like a lot of information, so we sort of carve it down. We're going to look at the product side, and we'll notice that each and every single product has a button, and we can look under the hood. We can see what's going on the product size color grid here. And you can see that because I didn't select youth extra small, the system honored that, didn't select youth extra small. And then you can see some kind of interesting things going on here where I told the system that I would like to offer royal. I also told it I'd like to offer white. And it's saying, that's great, Lynn, go ahead, except for in this situation where these particular color size combinations don't meet your threshold or your tolerance level, we're going to go ahead and turn off those size color combinations so that you don't run into inventory issues when you're going to fulfill your web store. So my personal threshold in my other company is 100. This is a Sanmar product, for example. So if it drops below 100 for that particular size color combination, it's automatically gonna turn off that size color on my web store for the consumer, so they can't order that, which opens me up to be able to offer lots of colors and sizes and lots of products and plenty of options for the customer, but never really run into a back order situation or a situation where I'm not able to fulfill that particular order. Along with inventory, so you can see I have a score here. It's telling me that on that product that we were just looking at, 75% of what I intended to offer on the web store is actually going to be available today. From Sanmar, for example, we are getting an inventory feed that updates every hour. So that information is all dynamic. So if they get more stock, I'm going to know about it right away. And if something goes below or drops down on my threshold, I'm going to know about that right away as well. And then just to take this to the finish line, we are automatically using a pricing algorithm that should really match whatever sort of pricing structure you're using internally. So we're not even pricing any product or every product inside of a store, which can be a huge time suck. And then the last thing is that these types of stores are really, really powerful to be able to collaborate with your customer and use as a fundraising opportunity. So I'm able in bulk to then on this store add fundraising to all of the products, all just with that one click that we just did here.
Was that a flat fee or percentage? I missed that one. Or...
Sure, I did a $3 flat fee for that one. But I also have 2 columns, so I'm tethering the percentage to the flat fee. I can do it either way, and it just toggles back and forth. So really good question.
Excellent. We have a lot of questions coming in, so just let me know. Is it a good time to stop now? Okay.
Yep, this is a great time for questions.
All right. I'm just going to go in the order they came, I think. So Michael asked a question, what all vendors do you have integrated into products, and can you add custom products?
Yep, so there are about 37 vendors integrated with inventory control. Pretty much, if you ask me, it's probably there. There are just a few stragglers, Nike Direct being one of them, and Boxercraft, another one that comes to mind. Otherwise, pretty much everybody, Sanmar, SNS, Alpha Broder, Augusta, Founders, Sport Group, Pennant, throw a couple at me. They're probably in there.
And if you guys look through the chat thread, our team moderating has thrown a link to the Chipley website and integrations. Okay. But if they did want to offer something that's not integrated, possible or not possible?
Oh, absolutely. You can always ask a custom product. I like to tell people that you can sell your living room couch on Chipley if that's what you feel like doing. So,
believe it or not, we've seen that before on Speed.
No way.
Kind of crazy. Yeah, actually, somebody's selling furniture. Maybe they're attending.
Yeah.
Anyways, not their living room couch, but furniture. It was crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Jerry asked a question. Does it automatically place the design on the garment when you automated that? I think that's what happened, right?
That's absolutely what happened. And it's sort of shocking for people at first until you get used to it. But yes, I did not place any of these logos. And you can see lots of examples of that. So if you look through, any other web stores that we've got here, all of these logos were automatically placed. What it is important to understand is that what we're trying to do is guess and be accurate on what you think that logo should look like on the product, but give you 100% flexibility to go and move it around. So you're not locked either. A lot of people are like, well, what if Chipley doesn't get it right? And that's also fine too. I do have the ability inside of the platform to take those logos and do that customization or manipulating if I want to. So we want to get 90% of the work done for you and then give you 100% flexibility to do whatever it is that you choose.
Awesome. That's a huge time saver. Okay. Next question is Bill asked kind of along this line of thinking, can an entire catalog be bulk updated if a piece of artwork changes?
Oh yeah, that's a good one. That's awesome. So if I go, remember I just have my artwork library here. If I go and add a different piece of artwork, I just have like this one example. If I go and just add, I just use this customer because the logo is kind of cute. I can import a previous piece of artwork that I've used. I can upload a new custom piece of artwork. And then if I wanted to relay that entire thing, so I think this one doesn't have color combinations. So now I have in my artwork library, same store, right? Now I have a new piece of artwork. And I can then say that, hey, for this, let's do we just change the UltraMax ones? Sure, why not? Change the UltraMax ones to this other artwork that I just added to my library. And now it will take a minute and it's going to repopulate, but you can imagine what the system is doing right now. So what I did is I went to my artwork library, and then rather than going to each and every individual product inside of my store, I'm asking the system to take wherever this logo is located and replace it with that Walker's Point logo. So I just refreshed my screen, and now I have that other logo ready to go.
Wow, that's powerful.
So right, it's like the perfect scenario for that is a customer gives you a piece of artwork, or you're guessing, maybe you're even just taking an example and giving them a sales presentation, and then you get the real thing and you feel like you have to start all over again. You really don't, right?
Yeah, that saves hours for sure. We may be going through this later, so feel free to delay on this one. But Anne Marie asks, do we have to upload the artwork in STAHLS first to get the design number for Chipley?
You do, absolutely. And that is part of the sort of thinking about the future situation. So you do have to create this design ID. And the beautiful part about that, happy to cover it right now, is that that design does live in STAHLS forever. And what STAHLS does, and maybe Josh can show us a little bit more about that, but they're actually scrubbing that design and making sure that it's printable and that it's beautiful, and certifying it, and then saving it in the right size and dimension and everything, and then building that into your library. So yeah, you do have to do it ahead of time, but it's there then forever for the future as well.
Yep, 100%. And the reason we do that is we don't want you all to be ordering transfers that maybe aren't a high enough DPI, or maybe have too thin a lines. We're not going to be wash durable. So that kind of covers all of that for you, so you can have confidence in the finished product.
Yep.
And then Amy asks, is STAHLS fulfilling these orders for us? So I think the answer to that is you have complete control. So nobody is fully decorating the garment for you. The two scenarios are, you're going to completely figure out how to make this in-house once the product's ordered, or you can say, hey, I know, or I want to, at the end of the store, buy transfers from STAHLS. And then, yes, STAHLS makes the transfers, sends it to you. All you have to do is match it to the garment with your heat press.
Right, exactly. So nobody's fulfilling the order for you, but we are automating the purchasing process. So we can go through whatever questions you have, but that's a really good segue to the next thing I'd like to show you, which is sort of on the fulfillment side of things.
Yeah, let's go there, and then we'll come back, guys. Keep the questions coming in. We will get to the ones where I stopped.
Yeah, you bet. So what we're going to do now is just talk through the fulfillment side of what happens in a web store. So I'm going to just show you an example of a store that's sort of in process right now. So we have this open store, and I've got, orders coming in. So the point in which the process we're going to talk through right now is if I'm ready to fulfill these orders. So the very first thing I'm interested in at that point is purchasing that stuff. So there's two different aspects of purchasing now. The first aspect being the products themselves, which are going to come to you or wherever you want them shipped. So we'll just sort of use this SanMar as an example. This is real. So I have 81 items that are accumulated in this store that I know I'm going to need to order from SanMar. I know that I can order these products using automation. So I'm now looking at all of the items that I need to order. So there's like a lot of variety. Remember, it's okay to offer lots of products and colors and sizes. And then we're just going to ping SanMar, and we're going to ask them quickly, is it okay for me to place this order? Do you have availability? So SanMar then responds. With their response, on this one, we do have one issue. So it's saying I can't get this item from any warehouse. That's okay. I can get the rest of this stuff, and it is dictating that it's going to get it from the closest warehouse possible in my scenario. And then I can go through and do any cleanup here. So I could take this item. I can actually substitute that with a different item within the product library. I can actually substitute from a different brand if I want to. This will be a really easy one. It's just a Athletic Heather hoodie. So I can grab a, Gildan 18, I don't know what it is, 18500B maybe? Somebody will correct me.
I can't help you.
And then I literally can just take this entire thing and hit a button, and it'll order all of my products for me. Then I would want to go through that routine and order anything digitally that I can on the product side. And now we need to connect the dots, and I can then order all of my, in this case, films, if I need to order that to be able to finish my embellishment process as well. And then in this case, it's going to show me all of the different films that I need to order to fulfill this order. And the system actually does break it down by the color variation. And because I have all these set up for success for the fulfillment side already, I literally can just order digitally the films as well. Now I have everything in the process. So I should get a box from SanMar, I should get a box from STAHLS, and now I can connect those two pieces and finish my process.
Yeah, and I think there was a related question here.
Sure.
I'm struggling to find it, but the question was basically, you know, can I add an extra print? And I think what you showed there is that they can change the quantities, right? If they want to order some extras.
Yep, that's a great question too. So what we're gonna talk through, I'll actually backtrack just a bit here for you. And I just wanted to describe, so we sort of stopped at the point in which you order your stuff, right? Well, you still have to like connect them correctly, right? So when you do get those pieces or garments in, and then you also get your films in, or maybe you're embroidering in-house or sending to a third-party decorator, all of those are totally fine scenarios. Chipley is creating, because what we did together earlier, we built a web store and we set it up for success from the beginning. So we already told the system that we want a full front print on some items, and we want films on some items, and we want embroidery on some items. So now what I'm producing for myself is a work order. So now I have all of those items listed out. Those items are actually going to be printed and organized for me on the work order by color variation and how many of each of the color variations that I need, which also enables us to be able to order the correct amount of films for those color variations when it is UltraMax as well. And then I can take that entire thing, send it to my print shop or whoever is going to be doing that work, and they can take it all the way to the finish line, knowing exactly what needs to happen. So to answer that question, which is a great one, we are going to go back to where I am right now, is called global purchasing. So what that is, it's instead of me going inside of each web store that I have to produce in any given day, I have the ability to throw everything in one big bucket or shopping cart so that I can order everything at once. So I don't have to order them store by store by store. In this case, I have my South Shore Slam logo, which we worked on together, and those are all in my shopping cart. I also have this store where I would like to add these UltraMax films at the same time. And then I have added 2 rogue ones where I didn't really need any, but I'd like to order some. So that question is, hey, what if I want some extras just in case? I can always just add or change however many it is that I'd really like to order here. And then I can also add rogue pieces of artwork. So remember, we're sort of building and creating this beautiful artwork library for you. So I can now look at a previous piece of artwork and find it and throw that in my shopping cart too. So I'm searching for an artwork that I maybe have used on a store in the past, and I know that they messed one up in production, so I'm going to actually just order 2 because that did not go well, and add those to my shopping cart. Now I can submit everything, including that extra piece of artwork that I'd like to throw in as well.
Great, great. So basically the strategy is, if you know you're going to be fulfilling the majority of the orders in these transfers, is you're aggregating across all the stores, submitting it once to save time, and then all the transfers are going to come in together on a roll.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's just a beautiful thing. So, you know, from experience, it's really nice to get 1 tube of transfers and pay 1 shipping charge and get all of those things, once per day or however often you are utilizing this technology. So it works really nicely on the shipping part, and STAHLS has freed up the ability for you to submit, 1 or 2 or 3 or however many it is that you need. And then on the STAHLS side, they're doing the aggregating of those films and deciding how they'll lay them out and print them from the printer, and then just magically basically put them in one big tube for you, so that all you have to do is press and done.
Yeah, and what's cool is we keep trying to push it back, but as of this moment, we're at 8 a.m. Eastern time. So if you order, if you send it over by 8 a.m., it will ship the same day. So it's fast.
Yeah, it's really great, and it fits really nicely into the production process. So, you know, I know over the years, especially with this web store technology, there's been this thing, I guess I'll describe it in my own print shop, and they used to take the small orders or the things where they had to set up many screens and it didn't seem worthwhile, and they would save those for Friday, and then it would just be a wall of shame of all of those boxes of things that they didn't really want to do. And that entire problem, which, I mean, honestly, web stores sort of created that problem, because you have, you know, late orders, and you have maybe, you know, you expected more, but you only got 2 of a particular thing, and you still have to do it. So that wall of shame is completely eliminated by this, because you can look at the entire thing, put a whole bunch of different logos into your shopping cart, and then just order films. They come, you know, the next day or 2 days, probably at the max, and you're just pressing them and including them in your original process without having to go through all of the, you know, traditional screen print setup and all that stuff too. One thing I'd like to say also is that, you know, if you are committing to using UltraMax as a product, it's really cool to be able to assign colors to your color palette, and say that, you know, in your business, royal blue is this particular PMS color, and you can match the UltraMax colors directly to what it is that you're using in screen print or even thread and embroidery, and everything is aligned really nicely. So the problem that's solved there is a beautiful thing. It's, you know, you may have printed 100 of something, and then you have to do 1 or 2 more. You really can do it using UltraMax, and the customer isn't gonna know the difference. It's so similar, and it feels so much better than, you know, what we maybe were doing using like a CAD cut or something else in the past. This is so close to a screen print that it really can replace it when needed.
Awesome. Well, thank you for that. So I'm going to do some rapid fire, because I know we have some more stuff to get through on the question. So Doug asks, this is back to the design variations, which Takina has a similar question. What if white takes a different UltraColor MAX transfer? And Takina says, with the design variations, we do have to upload all of the variations and kind of map them, correct?
You do, and the system's mapping them for you. So that when you say it that way, it sounds like a big project, but here's sort of what that South Shore Slam one looks like. So let's go see if there's a better, maybe this one has more colors, just a little more fun. Okay, so this one is one piece of artwork. So we're calling it one thing inside of Chipley. And then that piece of artwork, though, really has 3 variations to it. So those 3 variations are exactly what you're talking about. And what I've done inside of this web store is I'm sort of anticipating how I want to use that variation. So with this like navy one, I'm going to use that on light gray and lime colored garments. And then this navy green one, I'm going to use on only white colored garments. And then the white lime, I'm only going to use on navy colored garments. By pre-assigning it in this like artwork page right here, it's actually automating the color combinations that happen on the actual web store also.
Onto the garment for the mock-up, yes.
Right, exactly. So for the garment mock-up, I'm now, you know, automating the project of building the web store, but that's half the battle. The rest of it is assigning the correct color combination for fulfillment, which we're killing 2 birds with 1 stone when we're doing this, because it is then taking those variations and compiling them every time an order is placed and telling me which variation I need and then how many I need when I go to order those films.
And so if we stay on that screen, the variation ID, yes, you'll have to upload that 3 times on STAHLS, and they'll each have a unique variation ID to ensure you get the right color printed and mapped correctly. So I think that covers all aspects of that question. Anne Marie asks, is there any additional fees to use this service with STAHLS UltraColor MAX? That's a no. Actually, we think we're going to save you money by grouping your orders a little more efficiently. I'll come back, Thelma, on is Spirit Sale being replaced with this towards the end of the session. Also come back with actually let's hit I think we've demonstrated some value here. So the question around cost of Chipley, annually, monthly, how does that work, Lynn, if you just want to hit the highlights there?
Yeah, you bet. think we can, I think you might have, well, you don't have that information on here, do you?
No, I have
Anyway.
the startup fee and how they can get a discount on that on there. But
great. So so let's talk about price. So Chipley actually doesn't make any money unless you make money. So it's actually a revenue model. So if you sell things on Chipley, we take a 3.5% Chipley fee. And that is it. So it is only charged on the product, the decorated products that you sell. So anything else that fills up your shopping carts, like the fundraising or taxes or handling or shipping or any of those other charges, Chipley doesn't make any money on that. You don't pay any money on that. So you really just have to work it into your margin on the products itself. And then we're passing that through. You'll pay a credit card transaction fee as well if the customer is paying by credit card, but that doesn't have to be the case every time. And then maybe I'll just give the second part of that question to Josh, because we do have a special that we're offering through this on onboarding. So there is a one-time onboarding fee to join the Chipley Club, if you will. That fee is $1,000, and then with this webinar and with our partnership with STAHLS, we are offering half off of that. And that is full turnkey service. So you're getting $500 fee to join Chipley, and then all of this STAHLS, automated ordering, everything that you saw, it is the whole kit and caboodle. There's no extra peripheral fees that you need to worry about or anything like that. And you get folks from my team to handhold you through the entire learning curve and process as well.
yeah, so we were of course excited. We think it's worth $1,000 onboarding, but it's nice to be able to extend half off to our customers. So thank you for that, Lynn. I dropped a link in there. Maybe our official STAHLS team can reshare that link and star it, where you guys can visit and fill out a form to make sure you get that deal, and we'll know that you watch the webinar and you want to get more info about Chipley. And that doesn't mean you have to buy right now. It just means you want to take the next step to learn more about your specific use case. And I do want to note that the onboarding is important because that's how Lynn's team members are able to support you in the process. And we have some testimonials. Lauren mentioned earlier, Chipley is so helpful. We use it for everything. Also said Chipley customer service team is incredibly helpful, super nice, not very tech savvy, but they've walked me through a bunch. So I think we hear that all the time in the industry, which is why STAHLS would want to collaborate with a brand like this, because it matches our customer service experience.
Yeah, we lean really hard and heavily onto our customer service platform. So we like to say that we have two equal priorities at Chipley. One is technology and continuing to improve technology and automation, and the other right alongside of it is continuing to offer the best service possible in the industry, and they're both really equally important in our minds. And it's really fun actually, because then you get to talk to people like Josh and I who have help people struggle through problems and solve them, and we all really are in this together, and we're all sort of experiencing in our own little local world a lot of the same problems and bottlenecks in our businesses and stuff. So
yeah, it's amazing. And I think that's what's cool, is because you really created this platform out of a need that you had in your own business. So it was born out of necessity, and it's proven every day in that business still, which helps you refine it.
Yeah, Chipley lives in a test kitchen. So there's pros and cons to that, but mostly pros, which is that when there is a problem, we have the ability to test it and solve it and explore it and really feel it, in a personal way.
Yeah, so still tons of questions. I don't know we're going to get to all of them. I want to make sure we get to some other things on the demo because some of the questions revolve around this. Customer is on Chipley already, or soon to be on Chipley after they go through their decision-making process. They're buying UltraColor MAX from STAHLS. We know how to marry it specifically, but how do they get started to make sure their accounts are linked?
Yeah, absolutely. Do you want me to show how that works a little bit? And just so you guys know, all of your STAHLS reps have this information, and they all know how to do it. And Chipley also knows how to help you do it as well. So let me just go back to my screen here, and it'll just sort of give you a high level overview of how you do it, but please, reach out for help or anything that you might need along the way. So to answer that question, we're going to go to my STAHLS dashboard. So if you already have a STAHLS account, that's great. And then you're just going to go right to your account, and you're going to go to your STAHLS API, which is just right in this main menu here. And the STAHLS API just has a couple of questions that you need to answer. So mine is already set up. Yours will have a different button that says create your live token or something like that. And what that does is gives you this nice big long unique code that's just for you and your STAHLS account. You would create that live token, and then you would just hit this copy button. You hit that copy button, you're just going to paste it into Chipley. So a couple things you probably want to accomplish while you're still in the STAHLS side is you want to enable duplicate order detection. It just means that they're going to check the PO and that you should probably have a unique PO. You don't have to do that, but they recommend it. And then we want to have them verify the ship to address that you're entering. In Chipley, the ship to address is a default address, and then you can also change it to a third-party address if you want it to drop ship or whatever. And then the other thing is if you already have net terms, that's great. You can assign net terms to these automated orders being submitted as well. If not, you do have to choose a payment method. So if you don't have net terms, you would just want to click the credit card one and then add a credit card to your profile so that they know how that order is to be paid for. So that's all that you have to do on the STAHLS side. That's the whole thing. And then in the Chipley side, we are just going to go to our account, and then we have system integrations. And within system integrations, if you don't already see STAHLS in here, you would just hit this add button and STAHLS would be on the list of things that you could add. Mine's already in here. So I would then just paste that API key that I just got from the STAHLS side. I can pick my default shipping carrier and hit save, and it's good to go. So then that will allow all of this other technology to happen. It's actually magically going to make this order artwork tab show up on all of your artworks. And then you can add in variations, you can build your artwork library, or if you're just going to do it at fulfillment, so when you're getting ready in the purchasing side of things, that's also fine. You can add in those variation IDs and decide at the last minute that you want to order films from STAHLS as well. So that's really all you need to do to set it up. And then I guess just to take it a bit further, Josh, to upload UltraMaxes, if you haven't already experienced this yet, you're just going to this artwork uploader icon right here, and then we're choosing UltraMax for this particular use case. Oops. And then you're just going to drag and drop or grab a file. When you do that, it'll walk you through that entire process that we saw, where it will actually determine whether your artwork is viable to be ordered using UltraMax, and then you just save that, and it saves it inside of your artwork library. Go to my dashboard, and then I can see any artworks that I've uploaded over time right here. Oops, in this library. So that helps with that part.
Yeah, that's perfect. And then there have been a bunch of questions all around this, so I want to address it. This is valid on the UltraColor MAX transfers today. Know that STAHLS is working hard to be able to simplify our other transfer types to be able to work in this workflow, and we're collaborating with the team over at Chipley to figure out, once this is successful, and we know it'll be, what's next. And so just stay tuned on the other transfer product categories that we know you want to source and simplify in your business as well, including screen printed transfers, okay, emblems, patches, those sorts of things. So this is a journey. It's not a flip a light switch. The team put in a ton of work to get to this point, and hopefully, I know people are appreciating that, because I just got a little note that says we have a bunch of leads that literally came through live on the webinar. So we appreciate you all interested.
Yeah, that's awesome. And we need your help to test it and ask for, how you want us to expand on this product. Because just like Josh said, obviously the next things in our mind are, okay, let's start with UltraMax because it solves a real problem right now today. But why wouldn't we be able to expand this API connectivity to other things that you can order from STAHLS, or that you are already ordering from STAHLS, like patches and things like that? So.
Yep, 100%. So there's a ton more questions. Lynn, before I go into those, because we're a little bit limited on the rest of our time, is there anything else you had in mind to demo about the software?
I don't think so. I mean, this isn't a training session, so don't feel like you had to learn anything. We'll help you with the learning part, but hopefully that gives you a pretty good overview of what's possible, and then we can help you take it from there. So nope, I'm good on my side.
Okay, perfect. So if you want to come out of screen share, we'll just go big on the screen and take some final questions. Lots of questions about integration. So we provided the link to you guys if you wanted to navigate through those, so we don't spend a whole lot of time there, but go back through. It's on the Chipley website. You can see the integrations. I will cover this one because I'm interested to learn. So if you aren't authorized Under Armour dealer, are you able to offer the products, or is there some validation that happens there?
If you want to offer Under Armour products and sell them and you can't fulfill them, that's on you, man. So,
okay, so you do need to have the ability to link your account.
It's not a good idea because, right, Chipley is not in the business of fulfilling orders. We are just giving you, we're sort of the middleman, giving you access to go and sell the products that you already, have accounts with or access to. So with Under Armour, for example, if you don't have a direct account, you could sell Under Armour through, I think Alpha Broder, or other avenues. But if you do not have access to the product, it probably wouldn't be wise to sell it either.
Okay, a couple questions around like landing pages. One in the context of landing pages for multiple related stores, and another one landing page to brand your company and advertise list printing capabilities.
Like an actual website for your company, or to advertise like the web store capabilities? I
think they're both. So I guess just clarity around like what Chipley is best used for and where an alternate solution may be better.
Oh, awesome. So we're not really going to take over the landing page or like the marketing page for your core business necessarily, but we can be the ones that advertise web stores and give you a landing page. So you do have a landing page as you become a Chipley dealer. Every Chipley dealer has a unique landing page, and you can populate the landing page with all of the web stores that you have going on at any given time. So you saw me sort of scroll through that Burghardt Sporting Goods landing page a bit. That's our way of advertising this is the business that we do, and it's a really great tool to collect new local customers.
Yep. And if you did miss that earlier, this webinar will be available after conclusion for playback, so you can kind of navigate through that. Paige says, been with Chipley for over a year, just learned something new on copying the artwork earlier from one store to another. Awesome.
I know, right? There's always little tidbits, so great.
All right. This is a fairly detailed question. Let me try to get through it. Can you have one product, example, a hoodie, multiple design options to choose from? Along with that, the colors, red, black, white. Can I also choose different designs for each? Yeah, I think that we covered that. Yeah, you can have a lot of variety in a product listing.
Absolutely. We have some customers that have 10 different logos that they want to offer on one product and offer that one product in 4 colors. And that's all very possible. It's a great idea for like an all school spirit wear where you want to offer a different logo for every sport or something like that.
Okay, and just Amy's question, what we're doing here is we're absolutely powering you to do the fulfillment yourself, to buy the transfer and press it, or to screen print it, embroider it, however you want to decorate it. Chipley really enables you to go and acquire more orders. In the case of STAHLS plus Chipley, we've simplified the fulfillment of heat transfers onto those products. Is this only through STAHLS, or can we use Transfer Express? So this is only through STAHLS. We've developed our API through STAHLS. Relative to screen printed transfers, you should look forward to screen printed transfers coming to STAHLS in the future. So that's a little bit of a sneak peek for what's coming in 2024. We've already answered that one. How do we pay? I think we've covered that. So you, upon account setup, you connect those credit card credentials to pay for your transfers, or your net 30 if you're on 30-day terms for us. If you don't know what that is, you can apply. A lot of our traditional sporting good customers have 30-day terms. Okay, so size up, size down a logo. Really, we need to set that up with the art upload, right? Because once it's in Chipley and we tie in the art ID, regardless of what it says on Chipley, it's pulling the size when we go to order from whatever you uploaded to STAHLS.
Exactly. So that is something where you have to be aware of what size film you are ordering, and that design ID dictates all of it. So colors, sizes, everything about the logo is being passed to STAHLS using just that ID. So all we're really sending is an ID and a quantity.
I love this question, and you can choose whether you want to answer it. Greg asks, what's the one big thing that Chipley is working on and not announced yet that will be very popular? So you can decide if you want to answer
having to do with STAHLS or just like generally?
Just in general, yeah.
Oh, there's a lot of big things in the hopper. I can, maybe I could just say in one sentence that the flexibility around that catalog store feature, or a store that you can keep open all the time and fulfill orders one at a time or daily, is something that we're really focusing on in the next quarter.
Okay, great. Doug says, I'm using 2 different platforms. Yes, crazy. See you in Long Beach to explore bringing it on. You are exhibiting at Impressions Long Beach, right? Yeah,
we are. Actually, I personally won't be there, but I think I have a couple people on the call that on my team that will definitely be there. So
awesome. Yeah, $500 onboarding. The special that we're offering when you go through that link that we shared that's highlighted in yellow in the chat is a one-time fee. How long is the offer good for? I can confidently say through the end of this calendar year, potentially past that. Did we decide that?
I don't think we put a deadline on it yet. Obviously, the sooner you get started, the better, because there can be a deadline to it. Yeah. So I would say definitely, like you said, through the end of next month, and then we go forward from there.
Okay, perfect. And the main thing is you want to start making money with this. That's the point, right?
We want to just get the ball rolling with you.
Richard Parks, another testimonial about Chipley service being amazing, walking you through every step. If you don't sell, like, you don't get kicked out of Chipley if you don't sell anything, right?
Oh no, yeah, that's the best part about it, is that your account doesn't cost you anything at all unless you're making money. So.
Yep. And then if you are on any discounts because of your volume with STAHLS, those discounts will automatically apply.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, we're just passing information, and automating the data entry portion of the project. The rest of it's really yours to own. Yep.
Okay, and then some questions around credit card processing fees. Do we have to use Chipley's credit card pricing? And then just some specifics on who is the payment processor. So what are you able to share there?
Absolutely. It's real simple. You do have to use Chipley's credit card processing. There's a lot of benefits to that. You're not taking ownership of any of the hassles that come along with it. We use Stripe as our intermediary processor. The fees are 2.9% per transaction, and there's a 30-cent transaction fee as well. You do get that back if there's a refund or whatever. So you're really just paying on it when when it's being utilized.
Okay, cool. And thanks for the community and those chiming in to answer each other's questions. So I'm getting to some of those. Matthew, thank you very much for your help. Just navigating through, I think I answered the Transfer Express question. Making sure I remember, is Chipley replacing Spirit Sale question? Okay, so the best answer I can give is, our philosophy at STAHLS is to partner with companies that do a great job of helping you acquire orders. The reason we created Spirit Sale is because we thought there were a lack of viable solutions at the price point that a lot of our customers needed, which was at the time $600 a year. I think it's $700 a year now, and it's a every year fee. And so I guess the future of Spirit Sale is out. I will say this, that at STAHLS, we value your success a lot, and we don't pull the rug out from under you. Best way I can say that. And so if the future of Spirit Sale is replaced by Chipley and other collaborations, you will have ample notice. So it won't be something where it's on today, off tomorrow. We are putting less focus on new subscriptions of Spirit Sale, but we are continuing to keep our development team fixing bugs, improving features on Spirit Sale. So all that will continue as we announce future plans, probably at the turn of the year. But right now, we think Spirit Sale hits a price point that's honestly, in a lot of ways, a different user than the Chipley user. But we think Chipley is obviously a much more robust platform, so you might be able to grow your business more with Chipley than Spirit Sale. And I think some of you have had that experience, and we've heard you, and we're okay with that. Our goal is to sell more transfers and to help you use more transfers, just so you know where we stand on it from a STAHLS perspective. So hopefully that's as clear of an answer as I can give today. And gosh, there's a lot of other questions, but we're up on time. And yeah, no, Thelma. So you paid for Spirit Sale through August 2024. There's no way, like, we will keep it going for at least 1 year from the last subscriber. So there is no risk that if you committed to Spirit Sale that it's going to go anywhere for the year that you've committed to. That's not how we do business. So we'll continue to support you there. But hey, if you're like, man, I really want to move through Chipley, is there anything I can do here to figure out how to recoup some of that investment? Like, let's have a conversation is the best thing I can say. Once you figure out that Chipley is the right solution for you, we want to help you. All right, Lynn, thanks so much.
Yeah, awesome. It's always fun. Yeah, just to reiterate, I mean, we are definitely available. Josh and his team, me and my team, definitely start by using that link that STAHLS has shared a few times, and go from there.
All right, awesome. Thank you, everybody, for joining us live and asking questions. Keeps it much more interesting. For those of you watching playback, make sure you click through the link and reach out to our teams. We're here to help you grow your business. All right, we'll see y'all later.
Thank you.